it's not often you can say that a poet's work is completely distinctive and completely unique, not just in terms of their imagery, but in terms of their subject matter. And Miroslav is one of the very few poets I think that you can safely say he's achieved that. So obviously my background is biomedical research, and specifically my last kind of research project was on macrophage immune cells, so cousins of the lymphocytes that Miroslav worked on. So there's not only the aspect of, this is the first time really that I've seen immunology in poetry, but also it's good, number one. Sometimes science poetry on the subject of science can lend to a kind of preachy, educational tone, but what I really admire about Miroslav is that he takes it as his topic matter, but he treats it as seriously as anything else. He's not patronizing the audience. He's saying, this is my set of references, and you can kind of catch up with me. Not that he relies on very technical language. It's all very approachable and all very rich and dense in imagery. So I would say he means a lot to me in that he kind of reflects a side of my life that I've never seen reflected in poetry, or let alone really the arts. And he's just really a good poet, good to read. So aside from what I've commented on before, the fact that his poetry is genuinely really good, I'd say there's two things that people in the modern day can take from his work. Number one, his work really stands starkly against kind of current trends in poetry. It's going to be very refreshing to read his work that really fights against the confessional. It's much more impersonal, much more layered, and I really enjoyed kind of reading a voice that felt really fresh, even though the poems had been written 50, 40 years ago. And number two, I think that his commentary on politics, on living in a kind of totalitarian regime, I think that's very relevant to people of today, and it lends a humanity to people living under those systems. It adds a nuance that you may not get from watching the news. You're really getting his emotional core of living through those circumstances, and I think that's really special. Okay, there's three. So Midday, A Helping Hand, and Wings are my top three, but I think Helping Hand has to be my favourite poem. It's deceptively simple. I would say of my friends who are maybe not so into poetry, when they hear that one, that's the one that sticks with them, and I think that's for a good reason.